What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. A lunatic is probably on the loose because Carter isn't getting what he wants. Forget about the never-ending saga that is Brooke, Taylor, and Ridge, with Nick now thrown into the mix. Next week's promo for Bold and Beautiful shifts the focus to Looney Tunes Luna. Additionally, Carter ought to probably clear his mind. Carter still hasn't given up on the idea of marrying Hope, as he tells Ridge, despite the fact that his attempt to take over Forrester for Hope failed in part due to the plotting of Daphne Rose and Steffi. What's the issue? Hope and Liam are back on the merry-go-round. Liam informs Hope that she does not have to adore him, but there is no better place for her. That may be true for the time being, but what will Thomas do when he returns to town? Sheila was stunned to discover that Lee had Luna secretly alive and in a coma.
Why?
She felt sorry for the sweet girl she once knew and attributed Luna's transformation to Poppy. However, even a near-death experience had not helped Luna see the light when she finally emerged from her coma. All she could see was a future with Will. In the near future, when Will and Elektra gather with friends and family at Il Giardino to celebrate his promotion, there is danger. Sheila gets a frantic call from Lee that Luna's gone missing. Luna joins the party in disguise, just like the Phantom of the Opera. But will anyone notice her? She wouldn't. Why? She is regarded as dead by everyone. Carter's plea, Luna's disguise, and Lope Bond surprises and unanticipated schemes are suggested by the Bold and the Beautiful. For starters, Luna Nozawa secretly attends Will Spencer's party. Carter Walton issues a plea to Ridge Forrester. Additionally, Hope Logan and Liam Spencer deepen their bond. Continue reading to learn more about the upcoming episodes of the CBS soap opera. The Horror of Lee Finnegan. Let's start with Lee Finnegan, who discovers that Luna has vanished. It is impossible for anyone to know that Luna is still alive, and she is certainly not sane enough to be a member of society. Additionally, Lee might be concerned that Luna is after Will. Lee gives Sheila Carter Sharp a warning call while she is frantic in the medical suite. Intelligence of Sheila Carter Sharp. Sheila will soon come to a disturbing conclusion. She was the one who informed Luna that Will would be celebrating his promotion at Il Giardino. It's possible that Sheila didn't mean to start trouble. However, she ought to have been aware that Luna turns every speck into an opportunity. Luna Nozawa's cover-up the week of August 18th's Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Luna will put on a disguise and be the center of Will's party's festivities. There is also a photo that shows Will talking to a beautiful redhead, who looks like she might be another intern. I wonder if Will could get drunk and get a little too flirty with the redhead. Maybe Luna will see to it that Elektra Forrester sees. The young woman is prepared to move on with Will. As a result, it would be devastating for her to observe Will having an extramarital affair. Luna doesn't want to go back to prison, so she knows not to make any direct moves on Will right now. However, I could envision Luna showing Elektra her face before vanishing. It would be a typical act of gaslighting. With everyone thinking Luna is dead, it could create major issues with Will and Elektra's relationship. August 18, 2025, week. There will also be more problems between Carter and Hope. Ridge is informed by the COO that he is getting married to Hope. Hope, on the other hand, is too busy reuniting with Liam. In fact, she tells Liam that she would rather be anywhere else. The Bold and the Beautiful is poised to take an exhilarating turn, as fans remain entangled in the ongoing saga of Ridge, Brooke, Taylor, and Nick, which appears destined to persist indefinitely. However, the show is preparing to introduce a twist so unexpected that it renders even the notorious love triangles seemingly mundane. Emerging from the shadows is none other than Looney Tunes Luna, who has recently awakened from a coma and is primed to unleash chaos. If Carter Walton believed that his shattered heart and his fixation on marrying Hope Logan constituted his greatest challenges, he is about to discover that his troubles are insignificant compared to what lies ahead. As Carter confides in Ridge about his determination to secure Hope as his wife, despite his takeover plan at Forrester collapsing due to the devious schemes of Daphne Rose and the ever-calculating Steffi Forrester, he remains in denial about Hope's return to the tumultuous relationship with Liam. Liam, with a smug demeanor, reassures her that she need not love him, yet insists that there is no better place for her than at his side. While Hope grapples with the suffocating familiarity of her past with Liam and the promising future with Carter, all attention should be directed towards Thomas, who is rumored to make a fiery return, intent on claiming Hope once and for all. This situation places Carter on the brink of heartbreak and potential madness. Nevertheless, even this romantic turmoil pales in comparison to the imminent threat posed by Luna Nozawa. Sheila Carter Sharp recently uncovered that a girl had been kept hidden, alive yet in a comatose state, within a secret ward by Lee Finnegan. Lee, unable to let go of the sweet girl she once cherished, blamed Poppy for her own downfall and hoped that redemption would come with time. However, when Luna finally opened her eyes after months of being in limbo, she did not experience clarity or gratitude. Instead, she was consumed by obsession. All that filled her fractured mind was a radiant future with Will Spencer, and no amount of reasoning, therapy, or stern lectures from Lee could dislodge that perilous fixation. As the show accelerates into the week of August 18th, chaos erupts at Il Giardino, where Will and Elektra are celebrating his significant promotion amidst friends, family, and Forrester allies. This night, intended for joy, is fated to be marred by terror. At the precise moment when Katie, Brooke, and Ivy raise their glasses to Will's accomplishments, Sheila receives a frantic call from Lee, revealing that Luna has disappeared. Lee's horror is evident, as it is crucial that no one discovers Luna is alive, especially after her breakdowns and violent outbursts. She poses a danger to herself and others, particularly as she fixates on Will like a moth drawn to a flame. Although Sheila attempts to maintain her composure, she quickly recognizes her own part in this calamity. It was she who, in a moment of vulnerability, informed Luna that Will's celebration would take place at Il Giardino. Despite not intending to incite trouble, she understands that Luna's mind operates like a predator detecting weakness, transforming every piece of information into an opportunity. Thus begins Sheila's frantic search, racing against time to prevent a nightmare from unfolding. Yet, by that point, it is already too late, for Luna has infiltrated the party in complete disguise, a dark-haired redhead shrouded in mystery, a Phantom of the Opera figure who navigates among the guests with disquieting ease. Her gaze was fixed on Will, her lips curling into a menacing smile as she observed him reveling in Elektra's admiration. In a chilling instant, a photograph was taken that captured Will laughing alongside the enigmatic redhead, a moment that may appear innocent to others but carries devastating implications. Elektra, brimming with love and hope for her future with Will, might misinterpret what she sees, while Luna, adept in the art of manipulation, could ensure that Elektra witnesses just enough flirtation to sow seeds of doubt. Although Luna is not prepared to make her move overtly, fully aware that exposure would result in her confinement back in a cell or a padded room, she is more than willing to gaslight and torment. What better method than to instill feelings of unworthiness, insecurity, and betrayal in Elektra? Perhaps she would even reveal herself just long enough to make Elektra question her sanity before disappearing back into the shadows. As if that were not enough, at the same time, Carter is cornering Ridge with an earnest plea, asserting that Hope is the love of his life and that he will not relent until she becomes his wife. Meanwhile, Hope is in turmoil, caught between Carter's fervor, Liam's stability, and the impending return of Thomas, prompting her to confide in Liam during a quiet moment that she would prefer to be anywhere else rather than caught in the middle. Throughout this, Ridge watches in dismay, realizing that while he is preoccupied with Brooke, Taylor, and Nick, the chaos surrounding his daughter-in-law could spell disaster for the Forrester Empire. Thus, what unfolds in the coming week is a complex tapestry of horror, heartbreak, and scheming, with Lee wringing her hands as she envisions Luna circling Will like prey, Sheila darting around Il Giardino in an attempt to avert disaster before it is too late, Luna blending into the crowd in her phantom mask, Carter refusing to release Hope even as she draws closer to Liam, and whispers of Thomas returning to reclaim what is rightfully his. The most striking aspect is that everything currently unfolding is merely the beginning. If Luna's disguise is successful and she manages to instill doubt between Will and Elektra without revealing her true identity, she will have effectively returned from the dead as a shadowy entity that remains unknown and unfeared. Furthermore, if Carter persists in his frantic pursuit of Hope while disregarding the warning signs of her connection with Liam, his own disintegration could reflect Luna's insanity. Additionally, if Sheila's thoughtless remarks have precipitated this entire catastrophe, she may ultimately have to decide between concealing her errors or safeguarding her family from a madwoman who remains undetected. The most alarming possibility is that Luna may not limit herself to mere torment. If she concludes that the only way to secure Will is by eliminating Elektra, the stage will be set for a narrative so chilling that it will overshadow Ridge's romantic entanglements. Bold and Beautiful will transform into its very own gothic thriller set in the heart of Los Angeles, where masks, secrets, obsessions, and betrayals converge in a perfect storm. As August 18th draws near, one thing is indisputable. No one is safe, not Will, not Elektra, not Hope, not Carter, and not even Sheila or Lee. Once Luna fixates on her target, she does not relent, and her warped conception of love could incinerate everything in her wake.